welcome back to the Preventors of the United States of America. I'm Nataly.
What's up, chat? I'm Nathan.
Hey guys, I'm Dawit.
Yeah, today we're doing something a little different. We're taking a closer look at crime in Compton, California. Not just the stereotypes or what people assume, but the real situation, what the city is doing about it, and what challenges still exist. This is also part of our research project, so get ready for some actual facts mixed with real talk.
All right, let's start out with Compton's background. So, Compton is in southern LA. A lot of people know the city for its huge cultural influence, especially in music, activism, and sports. But at the same time, it's also had a long history with gang violence and crime, especially in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and people still act like Compton is the same as it was back then, but it's changed a lot. There are still issues, but the city is not Wild West like some people think.
Exactly. And to really understand the situation, you have to look at the demographics. Compton has about 95,000 residents, most of whom identify as Hispanic or Latino, followed by Black or African American. A big piece of the puzzle is income and poverty. The median household income in Compton is lower than the LA County average, and around 17% of residents live below the poverty line.
And then when you compare that or combine that poverty, the underfunded schools, and limited job opportunities, it all just naturally creates pressure in the community. Those conditions are huge factors in why crime becomes such a big issue in Compton.
So let's talk what crime looks like in Compton today. So, what's actually happening today in terms of crime? Well, violent crime has decreased compared to the 90s, which is good, but Compton still struggles with things like gang activity, car theft, and robberies.
One of the major challenges is still the influence of gangs. Even though it's not like the peak era days, the legacy of those groups still affects neighborhoods, especially the younger people who feel pressure or just lack of alternatives in general.
And another challenge is the relationship between law enforcement and residents. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is the one policing the city, not Compton PD. And that creates tension over the years.
Some of that tension comes from incidents where residents felt unheard or mistreated, which then leads to people not trusting the police, and then the cycle just continues over and over again.
All right, let's talk solutions, or at least what the city is trying. A big focus has been on community policing. The idea is that law enforcement builds actual relationships instead of only interacting during emergencies.
I agree, and it's not just police. Compton has some really active community organizations like the Urban Peace Institute and Advancing Peace Compton. They work directly with at risk youth and help mediate conflicts and offer mentorship programs.
And those programs really do matter. Cities that combine law enforcement and community support usually see better long term results. But the issue is many of these programs don't always get the funding they need, so progress can be slow.
Okay, so one part of our project is a SWOT analysis, basically looking at Compton's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats when it comes to tackling crime. Let's break it down.
All right, let's start off with the strengths. Number one, community involvement. Compton has people who truly care activists, mentors, nonprofits. That's really a huge strength.
Also, crime has actually gone down from what it used to be. Things are improving, slowly but surely.
Weaknesses definitely include poverty and lack of access to high quality education. Those two things feed into the crime cycle.
Also, the trust issues between residents and law enforcement still need work.
Let's talk opportunities. Compton has access to state violence prevention grants, youth employment programs, and new nonprofits coming in that want to help. That's a big opportunity.
Threats would be things like systemic inequality, the possibility of gangs rebuilding power, and the rising cost of living pushing families deeper into instability.
Crime doesn't exist in a vacuum, it's connected to all these bigger issues.
Let's list our final thoughts and our recommendations. So, after researching all this, it is clear that Compton has made progress, but still faces challenges rooted in economic and social inequality.
If the city wants long term improvement, it has to invest in its youth education and job training. Because if young people see a path towards something better, crime becomes less appealing.
And we all agreed on this too. Compton needs better police transparency so residents feel respected and protected. Trust is everything.
Another thing is neighborhood revitalization. When communities are well lit, well kept, and full of resources, crime naturally goes down. Environment matters.
So, overall, the problem is complicated, but the solution isn't impossible. Compton has the people, the culture, and the potential to keep moving forward.
All right, guys. I think that was amazing. That's a wrap for today's episode.
Yeah, and I hope it gives you more perspective on Compton, not just the headlines we hear every day.
And thank you for joining us. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.